Hello, everybody. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, Spider-Man. Hello, Lisa Panette. Hello, Shiza Maker. Hello, C-Rex. I apologize, guys. I had a doctor's appointment out of town today. Got home, did my stuff that I had to get done around here, and thought I had something to show you. But about 80% into it, the whole case gets cut off, and it didn't make sense without the ending. So I was like, well, darn it, I guess I don't have anything. Hello, Charlie. So tonight you get me. Hello, CE. So yeah, I don't know what we'll do. I have no plan because my plan went oh, excuse me. Are you sure about that? Oh, it's a long, long ride. It's an hour there and then an hour back, and of course the appointment was like an hour, so it was a lot today. Oh, okay. You guys are crazy. I see how it is. Oh, I love you guys so much. Hi, Ava. Hi. She was so excited to see me when I came home. She was like dancing and acting all goofy. She smiles. It's a very beautiful smile. Isn't it, Eva? Woohoo! Ava, can I put it down there, please? Ha. Trickery, I tell you. You must be crazy. You picked me. Ava's the real reason you're here. I'm the bonus. Hello, Mortimer Duke. Good to see you. This is what I was woohooing. I'm so happy to see that. I bet that feels good. Getting something back like that. Bless you. Hello, Catherine Gaston. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, for me, it's if I get back to climbing ladders, call the ambulance. True. Yep. You got me there. You are no such thing. Well, let me see. I'm gonna give me just a second here. Judge Jason Elmore. Or let's see, we can watch Judge Elmore. We could watch Friend of the Court show cause hearings. We can watch Judge Middleton, misdemeanor arraignments. Or we can watch Judge Boyd. So those are the four. We got Middleton. All right, Middleton it is. Hello, Michael. Welcome. We'll put that on option number 2 if I'm still awake and able to be going. All right, let me get back to Middleton.
That's the time I can be.
Pretty sure he'll share. I don't blame you.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, 3rd of March. We made it through February into March. Well, it still feels like winter around here. Judge Pattison is off today, so I'm handling the Monday morning misdemeanor arraignments as well as my usual Monday morning civil docket. Good morning. Good morning to everyone near and far. I got a nice email from a man named Jesper in Denmark last week. Good morning, Netherlands. Thank you, England. And thank you for that nice email from the Netherlands, just saying hello and thank you. Had a restful weekend, chased my granddaughters around a little bit, watched basketball, went to dinner with some friends, and time to get back to work. We have a couple of arraignments, just 3, and then I have several civil matters. I didn't really wish to overlap things, but that's the way it is, and we'll get through it all. We had 2 sentences set for 11. One of the sentences we're considering for sobriety court, and it had to be adjourned for reasons I'm not completely clear on. I guess some of the evaluation stuff isn't done yet. Then we have a landlord-tenant docket, a civil docket, and a small claims docket. As you know, I was gone 2 days last week at the treatment court conference. Now it's just back to work. All 5 days for the foreseeable future. It's nice to have a holiday or a vacation in there, but for the month of March, it's just business as usual each day. Good morning also, Finland. The date is wrong. It's not March 3rd. Oh, I put 2025, Zager and Evans. 25. We'll have to just make do. Good morning, sisters. All right, I haven't seen anybody, the public defender or any defendants. One of these is a DNR violation, and they're always outliers. There are some substantial fine consequences for Department of Natural Resource violations. So we'll just let this run for a minute. 35. I guess I must have really been off into the future. We'll just leave it. Thank you for listening to Peter Wolf. I've touted that Sleepless album more than once. Yes, apparently the year is wrong. I've come back from the future. I'm not gonna stop it and restart it, so we'll just leave it as the wrong date. I can maybe fix it later. Miss Jackson had been with us all of last week. Our law student Larry was filling in until somebody took a closer look at the court rule and realized that as a law student, he's not empowered to do some of the things he was doing. And so he's doing some other stuff for them, but he's not doing court appearances. He's a ways away from actually taking the bar exam. Good morning, England. And everybody that takes time to say hello. I don't know what time it is where you are. I know that on the West Coast, it's very early. It's 5:15. That's too early. I got up at 5:05 this morning, and that is too early. But I like to get a head start. Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
He's so cute. I love
All right,
him.
well, I'm here with all my friends. I'd kind of hoped to get right to this because I have a 8:30 civil matter that's gonna overlap, but we'll see what we got. Good morning.
Morning, Art.
Good morning, Mr. Stickley. Nice to see you.
You as well, Judge.
Good morning.
Art.
All right, we got two customers and the public defender and Deputy Kindig, so we're ready to go. It's 2:00 in the afternoon in Sweden, if you're interested. In Boulder, it's probably 6:15. All right, let me turn off the chat and turn on the record. For what it's worth, I was never a big fan of civil asset forfeiture, even when I was the prosecutor. Lisa ended up chasing the money.
This has already been super entertaining.
Well, it's Monday morning. The correct year is 2025. We've got 3 arraignments scheduled this morning. 2 of the defendants are here. We're going to start with Andrew T. Could you come forward, please? Come right up to the podium there, if you would. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
You've been charged with no insurance under the insurance code, not under the motor vehicle code. We get a lot of these almost every single day. They can now run your license plate and tell whether the car is insured or not. So you got a ticket for having no insurance. It's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of not less than $200, not more than $500. Do you have insurance now?
Yes, I had insurance. I changed from Progressive to another insurance carrier. And then when I put my paperwork in the binder, the proper insurance didn't go in there.
But did they save you 15% or more like Geico would?
But I got documentation that shows I've had insurance since 19/4/24, and it goes through one calendar year, and it shows it expires on 9/14/25.
So we'd be interested in not guilty plea, Your Honor.
Well, all right. The other solution is to have you check with the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, I can do
We get a ton of these, and you're a bit of the exception. You actually had insurance. Not having insurance is the 1-year misdemeanor. Not having the little slip in the car, which we've probably all done, well, they did on the counter and didn't stick it in the car in time. That's called no proof of insurance.
Right.
That's a civil infraction. And it isn't a crime. It carries a fine, but it's not a criminal offense. So I'm going to ask Mr. Stickley to check with the prosecutor and show that you actually had insurance at the time of the incident, in which case the prosecutor would most assuredly reduce the matter to no proof of insurance. The other way this works is a lot of people don't have insurance and they don't have proper plates, but if they come in and show they had proper insurance and show they had proper plates now, the prosecutor will reduce it. So you probably have an absolute defense that you had insurance, you didn't have the proof in the car. Now, the bad news is no proof of insurance carries a $150 fine. But it's a lot better than a $325 fine that goes with no insurance at all.
$10
So why don't you have
here.
a seat for a moment and we'll let Mr. Stickley check with the prosecutor. We've been changing emails on these. Normally on ordinance, well, you can't charge this under ordinance. So these are all under state statute. Anything more than 93 days in jail has to be charged under state law. It can't be charged under city or village ordinance. So have a seat for a minute. Are you missing work right now?
Yeah, it cost me $2,500 to be here this morning.
That
The trooper, when I spoke to him, I told him I had insurance. It was my fault for not putting the right certificate in my binder. I get that. I take responsibility for that. But when I tried finding it on my phone, he had already written the ticket and brought it back to me. So I even contacted Sergeant Bierman at the Marshall Police Post to see if I could get it rewritten.
Why did he pull you over?
I was speeding going through Leonidas. I was in a hurry because my German Shepherd decided to get sick in my semi. So I was trying to get home over to Athens and I was going through Leonidas.
Well, honestly, it's not very hard to speed through Leonidas.
Well, when I pleaded my case, he didn't want to hear nothing about it.
Well,
I even got documentation of my
Did he give
ace.
you a speeding ticket?
No, he waived that. Thank you very much.
So that's what he did. He cut you a break and wrote you this
Yes.
instead. This doesn't carry any points. This was in a CDL?
Yes.
Okay.
I own my own semi and I was just on the way home and I was going 53 and a 40. You know, I thanked him for not writing me up for that, but.
All right, well, let's see if he'll reduce this to what it actually was, no proof of insurance. So have a seat for a moment.
All right.
that. Should we do that now, Your Honor? or just wait for the next guy?
Well, I think, let's do this next guy. I'm interested in your take on it, and then I'll ask.
You want any other information?
No, we'll go for that.
All right, thanks.
Good morning, sir. Are you Timothy Allen Riley?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Centerville. You never thought you'd be coming over here on a Monday morning on a criminal case, but let's talk about this. You got a DNR citation. They actually filed a formal complaint. And this happens a couple of times a year. I'm going to just read it the way it's written. It's alleged that way back in July of 2023, not even last year, 2 years ago, that you did a DNR violation. Wildlife conservation, taking waterfowl. They charged you with 1, 2, 3, two of those. Those are punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $5,000 per animal, $500 per animal. Then for extra effort, they charged you with 3 counts of wildlife conservation violations, carrying a fine of 90 days incarceration maximum and a fine of not less than 50 or more than 500. Then for extra measure, they charge you with hunting and fishing without a license. So this was authorized by prosecutor at that time, Assistant Prosecutor Deborah Davis, in September of 2023. And apparently it just sat there for a year and a half till somebody cited you. Usually the DNR is pretty good about following up on their warrants. How did you come to get arrested on this?
I came in to get a permit to buy a handgun, get a background check. And that's when I was notified that there was a warrant for my arrest.
Well, I'm in the I Hate Geese Club. They make a mess out of your yard. And I had a friend who did this a number of years ago at Corey Lake. People are still teasing him about it, but you can't shoot at with a pellet gun, slingshot, or otherwise at geese, no matter how much we dislike them. So he goes to all this effort to get this warrant and then never does anything to follow up on it. All he would have to do is give you a phone call. Gearhart Landing is Pleasant Lake, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We have kind of a standing joke with some friends and I that we like to pick our geese up at Fisher Lake and drop them off at Pleasant Lake. But Pleasant Lake for several years did a roundup where they had a permit from the DNR. And in the spring, they would herd all the geese to a certain location, pen them up, take them away up north somewhere so they wouldn't come back to that spot. But anyway, that's the allegation. This is big and messy and it's got lots of potential fines. There's 6 counts. Ms. Davis actually authorized it. She's now the prosecutor. My advice would be to plead not guilty to this and try to sort it out.
Don't mess with the DNR. That's how you get hurt.
I am offended by the fact they didn't bother to serve the warrant after getting it, but you ended up. So what happened? You found out, you went in and presented yourself and paid
Yes, sir.
All right.
Found out and posted bond at that point. I myself was questioning why I wasn't notified.
I don't know the answer to that. I wish I had a good one. Maybe the DNR officer got transferred somewhere or I don't know. This happens more often than I like to think. What I really don't like is when it happens in a domestic violence case. They get a warrant for domestic violence. The guy lives in the same house, maybe with the victim, and they never bother to serve the warrant. Some departments are better than others. The state police is good at serving their own warrants. Some departments, not so much. Anyway, this is a DNR violation and he may have been transferred or something and it just sat there. It happened in July. It was authorized in September.
I had even tried to follow up with the prosecutor to see what was going on with it. And
back in 23.
Oh yeah. And I waited 2 or 3 months and left a message with the prosecutor and never got a response.
That would have been Prosecutor David Marvin. He's not there anymore. It's now Deborah Davis who authorized this. Do you want me to appoint an attorney for you?
Your Honor, I think to begin with, it would probably just be helpful if you had a regular
All
pre-trial
right.
and see if you could work something out. That's
I
always
think
an
that's
option.
probably safe enough. This is a Monday, which is Judge Patterson's day, but I'll keep this. So I'll set it for a pretrial on one of my days. Set pretrial with prosecutor for March 18th. Come in and bring whatever information you've had. Somebody needs to take a look at this. It's right now, I'm sure it's completely under their radar. How long have you lived out at Pleasant Lake?
Oh, gosh. I don't remember what year we moved there. It's been a while.
When I was a kid, in my young 20s, we rented a cottage a couple of years in a row from the Jones family out there on Gearhart Landing Road. There used to be a pump, an old pump that you could pump water across the street, and it had the cleanest, clearest water. It wasn't iron or anything. I don't know if that pump is still there.
Do you mean a well, Judge Middleton? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm in Wisconsin. We've got well pumps all over the place. The really nifty handles and the creaking sound as you're pumping on them. Yeah, I love them.
That was almost 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I used to be a garbage man and also collect garbage on Gearhart Landing Road a long time ago.
Pump's long gone.
The pump is long gone.
Yes.
Well, that's too bad. This will be a Tuesday. What day did I say? Tuesday, March 18th. At 8:30. I apologize. You have to come back for this, but hopefully the prosecutor will take a look at it and it can be resolved with some sort of a settlement. If it isn't, you can have a trial on it. All right, there's your notice. And I'll see you on Tuesday, 2 weeks from tomorrow. We'll have a pretrial on that matter and see what they want to do with it. All right, if you go work on Mr. Teet's case, you're good, sir, you're good to go.
Thank you.
All right, I've also got some civil matters in 1 minute, so let's do that.
No problem.
All right, don't shoot at the geese. All right, that's the moral of the story. Good morning once again, Mr. Kirschenheiter.
Hey, Judge, how are you?
Good.
Good morning.
I also had some criminal matters this morning, so I've got a bit of overlap, but I think got time to do this. Someone is here by telephone only, which, as you know, is not my favorite thing, but it's better than not being here at all. Is Kimberly Hunsacker here?
Yes, hello. This is she. That's me.
All right. Do you have the ability to do anything other than telephone, or that's the best you got?
I was trying to get my camera to work, but it wasn't wanting to this morning, so I did the phone call option.
Well, all right. Let me give you a name. All right, so we're gonna segue from criminal cases to civil cases. This is a civil pretrial and motion for summary disposition in the matter of Bank of America versus Kimberly Hunsaker. File number is 241398 GC. The amount at issue is 2,747. You live just down the street from me,
Mhm.
but I don't know you. Probably have seen you.
He's seen everybody.
Mr. Michael Kirschenheiter is here on behalf of the plaintiff. He represents Bank of America through his law firm Weber and Olsees. This is set for a pretrial, Ms. Hunsaker. It's also set for a motion for summary disposition. And every Monday, I get to try to explain to lay people what summary disposition means. They did file a brief explaining what it means. But let's talk about that. You got sued. The lawsuit was personally served on you at your home on October 6th. You did an answer. You downloaded the answer form and filled it out and denied the allegations. And that gets you past a default. In your answer, you deny the allegations. So they filed this motion for summary disposition.
Okay.
Let me see if I got the same case. That's. And you got a copy of their brief. There's a
Yes, I
Michigan
have that
court.
here with me.
All right, it's called 2.116 is the court rule regarding summary disposition. And there are two sections that apply here, C9 and C10. And what they allege in their motion under 2.116 C9, that you failed to state a valid defense. And C10, there is no material issue of fact, and a judgment should simply enter on their behalf. Your answer gets you past the default, but you didn't state any defense to the fact that you have this debt with Bank of America from a credit card. Mr. Kirschenheiter, do you wish to speak to that at all?
Very briefly, Judge. Yeah, it's a C9, C10 motion. We don't believe there's a valid defense pled. There's been no response filed as required when a motion is filed under C10. We don't believe there's a genuine issue of material fact. If the defendant would like to discuss a resolution, I'm happy to do that. But other than that, I do believe plaintiff is entitled to judgment.
All right, Ms. Hunsaker, I could put you in a breakout room to discuss perhaps terms of repayment on this, but it does appear that they're entitled to the relief that they've asked for. This debt isn't outrageously big. It's $2,747 plus costs, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I believe they've met their standard for summary disposition. If you would wish to talk to Mr. Kirschenheiter about perhaps some sort of repayment agreement, I can put you in what's called a breakout room, and you can talk to him privately about that. Is that agreeable with you?
Yes, that was agreeable with me. I would love to talk about a repayment option.
All right, let me see if I sometimes have problems with the breakout room when people are here by telephone only, but I think this will work. So it should put you in there automatically.
Okay, thank you. I
Hold it.
appreciate it.
I'll be right here taking care of other business. And when you guys are ready, you can come back and we'll talk. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I may have to fast forward a little. It's possible.
I didn't have it off there.
As I said, I think this lady lives just down the street, but I don't.
Because green is off.
Yes,
That'll get you. I didn't have it off there on your.
I knew he was, did Tim send a stip to adjourn?
Yeah, you signed that. already.
Okay, yeah, so I
Okay,
don't,
I just want to make sure.
okay, yeah, I knew
Does this
that.
go to somebody?
Yeah, pre-trial.
Oh. Did you do a pre-trial on this person right now?
My crappy handwriting, that's March 18th. All right, we're working on a civil matter. Things have worked out all right. Back to my criminal case. Mr. T is here. Mr. Gabriel came in and spoke briefly with Mr. Stickley. Is the prosecutor willing to reduce this to no proof of insurance?
They are, Your Honor, the civil correction, yes.
All right.
It's still a hefty fine.
Mr. T, you're a prime example of why I want the prosecutors to do the pretrials at the time of the arraignment. You've taken time off work, you probably gave up a run
Yes, sir.
to be here. And but sometimes they'd say, well, sorry, we can't talk to him, he has to come back. And so you got to give up a run on another day to come back here. So Ms. Davis has committed to try to do these pretrials for the state the morning of the arraignment. It's a long history story. I set these up when I first became judge because I didn't like it when I was prosecutor. Like people like you had to come back all on another day because somebody couldn't take 5 minutes to look at your case. Well, they're willing to do that. So they did. So this case is being dismissed. In point of fact, if you actually had insurance, you have an absolute defense to the charge. You don't have a defense to the fact that you didn't have the slip in the car.
Correct.
That's called no proof of insurance. So are you willing to admit you had no slip in the car?
Yes, I did not have my updated Accord in my vehicle.
Well, I must confess, I've probably done this before when my kids were younger and I had 5 cars. My wife, me, and 3 kids. It was hard to keep it all straight. But here, the fine is $150 and it's due within 30 days, which would be April 4th.
Can they take payment today?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can just go right down to the counter and pay it and be done with it.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
All right, I'll get on your business. Sorry about the.
No problem. Thanks, Your Honor. Thank you very much for
But I
seeing
am
me.
glad we were able to do this today. Thank you for your help, Mr. Stickley.
Sure.
We do have one no-show that I'll call before we go back to our civil case. Excuse me. That would be Anthony David Reed, another no insurance. He's from Burr Oak. And he's not here. It's a first failure to appear. I'm going to do a show cause in that case. Well, we've managed to do our civil docket and criminal docket. Helps when we only had 3 arraignments and only 2 of them showed up. But Mr. Stickley, are you back for this week?
Oh, here we are.
Well, what I said earlier, it's like we're into March. It's all just back to business as usual.
Yep.
All right, well, that takes care of our criminal cases. Thanks for your help. All right, we're gonna return to our civil case. I didn't stop the record in between these. We're just going. The live feed is on. Mr. Kirschenheiter and Ms. Hunsaker are back. They've had an opportunity to speak in the breakout room. Mr. Kirschenheiter, what's the status here?
Judge, the parties have agreed to enter into a consent judgment, damages in the amount of $2,747.09 plus court costs of $147.08. It's a total judgment, $2,894.17. And defendant's going to pay $100 a month beginning in 30 days.
All right, Ms. Hunsaker, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
30 days from today would be April 4th. So we'll start at the first Friday of the month, starting April 4th. All right, so rather than a summary disposition judgment, we'll show a consent judgment. Mr. Kirschenheiter, could you send me a copy of that?
Yes, of course, Judge.
We're gonna just do it under the 7-day rule.
Will do, Judge.
All right, Ms. Hunsaker,
Yes, sir.
you're going to consent to paying $100 per month on this debt of a total of $2,894.17. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Judge.
And you'll start to make the payment in April on the 4th, and then the 4th of each month thereafter. Now, you can always pay more if you get a tax refund or you sell a car or you win the lottery or something. You just pay it off to get over and done with it. But by this consent agreement, they won't be able to garnish your wages or pursue other type of collection actions.
Understood. Thank you, Judge.
He's gonna submit the order under what's called the 7-day rule. So he'll prepare the order with these terms. He'll send it after 7 days. If it says what we agreed to, $2,894.17, payable $100 per month, started by April 4th, you don't need to do anything. It'll just
Okay.
enter after 7 days. If there's a mistake, let's say he puts $300 a month. Hopefully, we would catch a mistake like that, but you would have 7 days to object. But if it states what we agree, you don't need to do anything and the order will just enter. Then you can start making your payments. I should know who you are, considering that we just live just a few houses away, but I think I know which house you're in and we just don't cross paths much.
Maybe, yeah.
All right.
Judge,
Do you have any questions? Yes?
could I just, if it would be okay, can we start the payments on April 1st rather than the 4th? The only reason I ask is the 4th is just outside of 30 days and my client is just really a stickler for that 30 days.
All right, well, there's 31 days in March. All right, how April 1st, is that acceptable?
Yes, that's fully fine.
And that'll be easier. It'll be the 1st of each month rather than the 4th.
Thanks a lot,
All
Judge.
right. Okay, Ms. Hunsaker, you're good to go. Mr. Kirschenheiter, you have anything else this morning?
Judge, I have two other
Oh,
matters.
you got everything? We've
It's
got JP Morgan and
No,
Angela. Oh, you don't? What else do you have?
well, I was going to say they may not be on your docket any longer.
Oh,
I
okay.
had Brenda Shue, but we filed a dismissal. And
Yeah, we did that one.
okay. And then-
Yeah, I've got some gaps in here, which looks like you probably took care of some things. I have an 8:30, no 9. I have a 9:15 and a 9:30. So I think you're good to go.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
All right, I'll see you again. Thank you. And Ms. Hunsaker, good luck to you. All right, let me put this back together. That's a big fat file for what it was.
Well, it hasn't gotten its summer body back. that might be.
All right, we don't have another hearing until 9:15, so I'll shut this off for a few minutes. Correct the date, the year. Don't need to rush into the next millennium.
All right, let's see here. Give me just a moment, guys. We have Mike.
What did you say your name was again?
Sam Shepherd.
Are you here for front of the court? Yeah, which judge? Can I see that? I'm sure, but it might have been something that you paid or something and it dismissed, so let me see. Do you ever look at the other judge? No, I'm looking at it right now. Oh. All right, Jeff, can you look up file number 24-51812DS?
What was the number again?
24-51812DS. I have paperwork for today, Alyssa Lindeman versus Samuel Shepherd, but it's not on my docket.
Okay. It looks like the show cause was closed on our end. I could give Kelly a call real quick and find out.
Yeah, the paperwork is dated January 29th, so you're saying the show cause was dismissed?
It looks like it, yes.
Okay, so Mr. Shepherd, I'm gonna give your paperwork back to you. You might want to stop down at the front of the court and double check on why, unless you made a payment or did something, all right?
Is that
Down in the basement. Yeah, yep, thank you. Okay, so, and your name? And your name? Alright. All right, Mr. Pinkard, If you can unmute your device. Morning. So in the matter of Zachary Pinkard versus Hannah Pinkard, file number 22-49975 DM. Mr. Pinkard, that's been dismissed. You, all
Okay,
right?
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Now I have another gentleman on an iPhone. What's your name, please?
Joshua Donald.
All right, let me find you. In the matter of Rachel Donald versus Joshua Donald, file number 2013-39592 DM. Sir, that's been adjourned to April 28th, okay? April 28th at 8 a.m.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, in the matter of Lauren Phillips versus Robert Phillips, file number 20-47595 DM. Sir, that's been dismissed.
All right.
Yeah, and if you, like, if this ever happens again, call like Friday afternoon before either the clerk's office or my assistant and verify that it's still going if you want, okay?
All right, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, Timothy Holtz, right? Why don't you come up to the podium? Right up to the microphone, yeah. All right, this is in the matter of Sarah Ann Marr versus Timothy Allen Holtz, file number 2008-33341 DM. So Mr. Holtz, we were last here on January 31st. You were present on the record. You had a workman's comp claim and I released you on a PR bond. And no payments have been made since and no proof of the claim. So Mr. Holtz, are you making a payment today?
What do you, I can ask a question about the no proof of a claim, because I did turn all them papers into your office right the last.
My office or front of the court?
Both. I took it to the clerk or to the
Okay.
clerk.
So are you receiving workman's comp?
No, that's what the whole lawsuit's about. I brought a letter in from my attorney, Carl Bender. And he's on vacation right now for another 2 weeks, but the letter said that he thought within like 60 days it should be settled, that they're close. And I provided that letter to your office.
Did you provide that to Mr. Vasquez too?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And then you appointed Miss
Underwood?
But I left a message and she's not
Okay.
gonna talk to her yet either.
All right, well, she'll be here soon. So if you want to just have a seat,
Okay.
we'll call you back.
I probably have a copy of that letter on my phone if you didn't see it.
It's okay. Rhonda will get here soon. I know your last name. Tell me your last name again.
Cebulski for the seat.
Right, but I don't see you on the docket.
I had more, I had the,
I'm
to just, for the objection to the ex parte.
Becky, could you look up Barry Cebulski?
Adrian hasn't gotten a hold of me either, so.
No, I mean, you're not on my docket.
I'm just the wrong day.
We'll find out. So hold on. Oh, I don't have Becky.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, you look. Okay. How dare she take that?
It's Barry Cebulski.
Cebulski.
Okay. And is it a PPO?
It's a DM.
DM, okay. Here it goes, okay. Got Jacqueline versus Barry. The
Yeah,
last
it's that
thing,
case, Jacqueline.
Judge, the last thing scheduled was 2/24. There was a front of the court show cause, defendant in person, and the show cause was dismissed, unless it's another case.
He said he thought it was an objection to an ex parte.
Okay,
And this claim filed an ex parte end of October.
okay, yes, Judge, there is on objection, on defendant's objection, there's something scheduled for March 5th at 11. It's Wednesday.
March 5 at 11.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Mr. Sabowski.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Is it in person or over Zoom?
I don't think it matters.
Either one? Okay, I'll be here again.
Okay,
See you.
bye. Right, I just let somebody in on a telephone. Can I ask your name, please?
Yes, my name is Jeffrey Dwyer.
All right, good morning, Mr. Dwyer.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. So this is in the matter of Rebecca Wansick versus Jeffrey Dwyer. File number 2024-51369 So Mr. Dwyer, we are here on a show cause. This is
Yes,
an
ma'am.
arrearages only case. You have an arrearage of $10,042.05. The last payment we
ma'am.
received was $30.60 back on December 24th. I had adjourned this out from November to monitor payments, and we have not received a payment since December. Let's see. So, Mr. Dwyer, are you currently employed?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and
I'm currently
Why?
getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to go back to school. I have a caseworker out of Michigan Works here in Lenawee County. I have a intake meeting with her today at 1 o'clock.
so Mr. Dwyer, I'm really glad that you want to continue your education. I am truly glad about that, but you still got to make child support payment. So you don't
Yes,
get
ma'am.
to just go to school and not pay on this. So,
I
Mr.
understand,
Dwyer,
ma'am.
I mean, I worked 2 jobs while I went to college. So I'm presuming you could work one part-time one to pay me $100 a month towards the $10,000 you owe for your child, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so are you able to make a payment this week?
Yes, ma'am. What, you want $25 a week?
I would love
At
if
least?
you paid $25 a week on this. Yep.
I can pay $25 a week, ma'am.
All right, and so that's great. You live here in Adrian. Does he have any other,
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
know. Do you have any other child support cases, Mr. Dwyer?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right, so Mr. Dwyer, I'm gonna adjourn this out to April 28th to monitor you paying $25 a week. You can pay it in person, you can pay it online. All right?
Okay.
All right, so I will see you back April 28th at 8 o'clock in the morning, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
No problem. Have a blessed day.
You too. All right, can I ask your name?
I'm Christina Robbins. I was here for Jeff Wright. I got lost in the building.
It's okay. So Miss Robbins, in the matter of Christina Robbins versus Jeffrey Wright, file number 21-48250 DC, that's been adjourned to March 31.
Oh, okay.
So evidently payments were being made, okay?
One payment has been made.
Okay, do you have our Zoom number? Because you can always zoom in too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I think I do in some bit.
It's on your paperwork, so. All right, thank you. All right, in the matter of Wendy Kearns versus Todd Duso, file number 2002-25653 DP, that's been adjourned to April 28th. In the matter of Sarah Davis versus Paul Davis, file number 2014-40773 DM. Mr. Anderson, I don't have paperwork on that one, so I'm assuming it was adjourned or dismissed, but I don't have that information.
Okay, what was the case number?
2014-40773.
Looks like it's 4/28.
All right, so that's adjourned to April 28th. In the matter of Kendra 6 versus Kent Schroeder, file number 2018-45507 DC. That matter has been adjourned to April 28th. In the matter of Mackenzie Bell versus Lloyd Bell, file number 2019-46710 DM. That's dismissed. In the matter of David Shorts versus Jessica Shorts, file number 2020-47465 DM. That matter has been adjourned to April 14. In the matter of Jennifer Berger versus Ronald Berger, file number 23-51097 DM. That matter has been adjourned to April 28th. And I already called Wanasick versus Dwyer. That was the one with the arrearages only. And I ordered $25 a week on the arrearages. All right, so now we are just waiting for Miss Underwood on Holtz. Miss Adams is not here today, so I'm gonna go get my book. I don't have any pickups, so I thought I did though. Oh. I can argue about it.
Sorry, guys, I'm striking out tonight. Normally, I have pretty good luck when I court crawl. This isn't working. Hold on. We'll find something better. Let me look. Let's see what these guys are up to.
All right, could you state your full name, please?
Sean Everett Lewandowski?
All right, do you still reside on Frontier Street?
Yes.
All right, and do you have a phone?
No.
How about an email?
No, not currently.
Okay. The state, we've got 4 violations that are alleged against you. They are class 1 misdemeanors. There's a charge of DUI, that's a class 1 misdemeanor. Failure to comply with a court order.
Peace in Arizona.
Which is a misdemeanor violation. Give me a moment, I'm just sketching up the paperwork here.
Who was that? Okay. Some popped up on me. Cool, thank you. Yeah.
All right, and then we have a count of criminal damage, and then a second count of criminal damage to utilities. The one charge of criminal damage to utilities is a class 2 misdemeanor. The remaining are class 1 misdemeanors. Class 1 misdemeanors have a maximum fine of $2,500, 6 months in jail, and or 3 years of probation. The class 2 misdemeanor has a maximum fine of $750, 4 months in jail, and or 2 years of probation. Your options are to plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest to those charges. If you plead guilty or no contest, we'll schedule you at a later date for sentencing, as we need to comply with victims' rights notification. If you plead not guilty, we'll schedule you for a pre-trial conference. That's where you'll meet with the prosecutor, discuss the case with the prosecutor, and determine if the case will go to a trial, if the case will enter a plea agreement that all parties will agree on, including you, or that the case can be dismissed or part of it in its entirety, or part of it. You also have the right to have an attorney, since there appears at this time there's no jail time being sought by the prosecutor. It does not appear that there is any jail time being requested. So if you wanted an attorney, you would have to hire one yourself. If you did not, or you proceed without an attorney. Do you understand that? Okay. So do you know if you are going to hire an attorney or proceed without the presence of an attorney?
I'm not sure. I mean, if I were to plead the guilty and not hire an attorney, what would I be? I mean, I'm just curious as to what I would be looking at.
Well, so I told you the
So
range.
the probation, so those would stack, obviously. So it'd be about what, 6 months of probation I'm looking at probably, and then upwards of like 3,000 in fines.
I don't know that because the prosecutor will be involved in a portion of sentencing or at least a sentencing recommendation. So all I can do, Mr. Landowski, is tell you the range of it. So it's 0. None of them have mandatory minimums up to the maximums that I previously explained. Yeah, but not including the jail time because they have to, they would notify the court if they're requesting jail time, and I do not see that notification. So
they're not requesting any of the jail time on the maximum of all those charges.
Any
correct?
jail time at all, right?
Okay.
So you're looking at, for a penalty, potential fines and or probation on that. So.
Okay.
So regarding your attorney, what I need to know is if you wish to proceed, that you're going to hire an attorney or that you're going to waive the presence of an attorney.
I don't have the money for an attorney, so I guess I don't know, I'll just waive the presence of an attorney and I'll plead guilty.
Well, so you don't have to plead guilty because you're not having an attorney. You still can represent yourself, and so I don't want you to think they couple together. So if you think that you're not guilty on the charges, then you can plead not guilty still, but not have attorney representation.
And just represent myself. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So then you would, if you pled not guilty, you would go to that pretrial conference. The prosecutor would talk to you regarding the charges, and one of those 3 things: a trial, a plea agreement, or a dismissal.
Yeah, sorry, it's just been a while. I mean, I haven't been in trouble in over 12 years or so. I don't even remember how long it's been.
Yeah, I want to make sure that you understand before we get a plea from you. So I've indicated that you're going to waive the presence of an attorney because you cannot afford one. So then you're just left with the option of the plea of the charges. So because you're not having an attorney does not mean you can't plead not guilty. I want to just make sure you're clear of that.
Right. Yeah, I'm aware of that.
All right. Do you have any questions before I do take a plea from you?
I don't know. I was wondering if there was any, if I knew when I was going to be released from here.
My intentions are to release you out of custody today, no matter what your plea is. So
Okay, that's good because I still have a chance to salvage my job and stuff. And my house and all that. So
yeah, I plan on releasing you
good.
today, and it does not bear on anything to do with your plea.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you wish to plea on that charge?
As of right now, I'll plead guilty.
Okay.
I don't think he understood the assignment.
All right, I will enter a guilty plea for you. And your next court date, which I'll provide you a copy of this, will be on May 5th of 2025 at 9 o'clock, and that'll be for the sentencing of the charges.
Okay.
So what you'll receive today is the court date with that information. Your release conditions reiterated to you, which are to obey all orders of the court, not to commit any crimes, notify the court immediately. Any address change, do not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court. And
that court will be set in Payson, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And then do not have any contact with the alleged victims in any manner. Do not go near the location of the alleged offense. And then I'm releasing you on your own recognizance regarding that. If you can comply with those release conditions.
Yes.
And then you'll show up to court as ordered for the sentencing.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll release you. Do you have any questions?
The 5th will be Wednesday, correct?
That's a good question. I'll have to look that up. Hang on. The 5th is a Monday.
The 5th is a Monday, okay, as long as it is, before, well, yeah, it'll be before my work shift, actually, so I'm okay with Monday.
Okay, so when does your work shift start?
It'll be 6 o'clock.
PM?
So, yeah,
Okay,
so it'll,
okay.
yeah, I had to think about it for a second. 'cause
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
The
because
days get a little
yeah,
wonky in here.
yeah. So at 9 o'clock, it says 9, but there's going to be a lot of people in here. It starts at 9. It kind of depends when you check in. If you want
Yeah,
to get
as
here
long as I
early.
can get there by 5:30 PM, I should be all right.
Okay, yeah, that'll be no problem. Okay, so you're going to receive the release order, and you're also going to receive the attorney waiver form indicating that you're waiving the presence of an attorney that you'll need to sign.
Yep.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, that'll be all then. Have a good day.
All right, you too, thank you.
You bet.
The 5th of March
And you want me to send that to you, Mr. Birch?
is when.
Yes, sir,
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too.
The 5th of May is apparently a Monday. All right, let's see where else we can go. Let's see. Let's see what Millmore had today.
Oh, 1931 ST. This is a motion affidavit and bench warrant, sir, on a driving while license suspended charge from an offense date of July 13th of 2021. That bench warrant issued because you failed to appear for an arraignment on September 26th of 2024. That bench warrant was issued because you had failed to appear for a pretrial actually on September 26th of 2022. So we haven't seen you for over 2 years. Why weren't you in court on the September 26th of 2022?
Honestly, I can't remember, but I think it was probably
Okay.
because I was put out of my house.
Okay, so then what happened is, let me look here. Yeah, it looks like you got arrested by Ingham County, and then you were provided a new date to appear, which was September 26th of 2024. So why weren't you in court on that date?
I believe I was in Kent County.
Okay. Okay. All right, so we have a new date for you to appear, sir. Your pretrial date is now March 24th. That is at 2:30 p.m. That is with Judge Stacia Buchanan, and you do have to appear in person on that matter. So you should have that notice. You've got it?
Yes.
All right, then I have no other questions. Mr. Kaplan, if you would address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client's 32 years old. He was living with his sister at that Gardenia Avenue address. He's got 2 kids that he's trying to take care of. He's on disability. He makes about $940 a month, so he's truly indigent. We had asked, understanding he failed to appear on the misdemeanor, We'd ask for a low cash bond on the felony, maybe $1,000, 10%, and maybe 100 cash for the misdemeanor, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So the court does look at two factors, Mr. Watson. Are you a flight risk? Are you a danger to the public? The court looks at your criminal history, your ties to community, your employment status, things like that. We'll look at the allegations, recognizing that they are allegations and you have the presumption of innocence. Do you still have a case pending in Kent County?
I do.
Okay, so that is as of September 18th of 2024. This felony looks like it was taking place before that, because they have the arrest segment as September 9th. This is alleged to have occurred as of September 8th. So I will grant you a very low 10% bond. It's a $1,000 10% bond. Conditions of your release: no alcohol, controlled substances without a prescription, no out-of-state travel without permission from the court, and you are not to possess or purchase any firearms, ammunition, or dangerous weapons. And you also have to report to pretrial services so that they can set up any pretrial supervision that is necessary. You should have that brochure. You can contact them within 48 hours of your release. And also, I'm ordering no assaultive behavior towards anyone. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, so on the DWLS, really there's no threats of violence in a traffic matter. However, you have a history of failing to appear in this. August 27th of 2021, you failed to appear. We saw you in September of 2022. You said you didn't remember getting any paperwork. So I said, okay, $250 PR bond to appear on September 26th, and you failed to appear. You also were arrested and had a bond posted in September of 2024. You failed to appear again, so it appears that the bond didn't make a difference. So at this point, I am going to set a 1,010% on this also to ensure your appearance. Again, it's a non-violent matter. You just have to make sure, sir, that you get yourself to court, right?
Yes.
All right. Anything else for the record, Mr. Kaplan?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you're all set. Then that concludes your arraignment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, DeMarco Washington, please. All right, good afternoon, sir. Are you DeMarco Terrell Washington?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Kaplan, your appearance, please.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Kaplan, P74943, on behalf of the defendant. We're both appearing by video.
All right, thank you. Mr. Washington, this is file 21-03345SM. This is a complaint alleging with the people of the state of Michigan versus DeMarco Terrell Washington, alleging that on or about October 30th of 2021, at the location of 5911 South Waverly Road, apartment D as in dog, within the city of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan. Count 1 alleges that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Geneva Ray, an individual with whom you had a child in common, and or an individual with whom you had a dating relationship. Sir, that is contrary to law. It is a misdemeanor, and it carries a maximum penalty of 93 days and or a $500 fine. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under Michigan law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Do you understand the charge and the maximum penalty, Mr. Washington?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now, were you able to read the advice of rights that was provided you today?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And did you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Then, Mr. Kaplan, is he applying for an attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So with that, sir, we're going to enter a not guilty plea on the domestic violence charge, and you're going to come back to court for a pretrial date. That is Tuesday, March 18th, 9:00 a.m. That is with Judge Michael Anthony Flores on the 6th floor of City Hall. You are allowed to appear by Zoom, remotely, or in person. If you have access to Zoom, sir, that's great. If you do not, then you must appear in person with the judge on the 6th floor of City Hall in courtroom 3. Do you have the notice to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Hang on to that. Do you have the Zoom instruction? I think it's an orange colored sheet.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, good. Hold on to that then. All right. Is there anything I've told you, sir, that you 193?
All right, guys. That's just how it is sometimes. I'm sorry that there was nothing super exciting, or we didn't come up with any judges blowing up on people, or all the good stuff we typically go for. But I just wanted to come on and spend some time with you guys, and now you get to see a little bit of what I go through. Sometimes you have to watch a whole lot of dirt before you find any silver. I'm just glad I could be here with you guys. That's all that really counts. Oh, you guys are too good to me. You really, really, really are. I don't know how y'all put up with me, especially on nights like last night. Oh my gosh. I was so tired. I'm sitting there trying to do replay crew minis today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I look like I'm intoxicated, like severely. So yeah, there's some that I can't even use because I was so tired. If you don't watch the goofy girl in the corner, it was pretty good. Oh, but thanks for coming and hanging out with me, guys. I think I'm going to try to get some sleep and get back to work tomorrow. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.